In this video, we're going to take a look at the color balance adjustment layer, which is probably the most general color correction adjustment layer that you've got access to. It's extremely easy to use, and it's very handy when you run into those cases where you have a photo or an image where you'll see some sort of color shift in, say, the highlights, the midtones, or the shadows that you know you need to fix, and you just need a quick and easy way to do it. So in this case, I have our penguins image open, which is included with Windows 7. Now in this case, it has been tweaked slightly. I'll just give you kind of a heads up. If you just open this up and you had it already on your machine, it probably won't look exactly like mine. Here we have an identifiable problem. The midtones of our image have this very faint pinkish cast to them. Things are just a little bit too warm, and we need to fix that. So I'm going to drop on a color balance adjustment layer. Now here's how this works. We can choose what it is we want to tweak: shadows, midtones, or highlights. It's that simple. Now in this case, I'm looking at specifically the midtones. You can see anywhere where we have gray on our penguins' bellies and kind of down here on the ground, there is that sort of pinkish cast to everything. And now we simply use the sliders to offset the problem. Now notice that the colors are paired up in such a way where we have competing colors directly across from each other. So as you add more red, you are removing cyan, and that's actually how the colors work. As you add green, you're removing magenta, and as you add blue, you're removing yellow. So it's kind of a trade-off. In this case, I see that we've got too much red, so I can take this and push it slightly towards cyan, and if I do it real far just to show you, you can see what's going on. But I can bleed this back until we start to get rid of that pink cast. So maybe just add a little bit of cyan and a little bit of blue to kind of back it up. And we're starting to get closer to an actual cool gray. And just because this is a picture of penguins, I'd rather it be cool than anything else. But the idea here is, again, you just choose which aspect you want to change, be it shadows, midtones, or highlights, and then you adjust your sliders to pull out, or I mean, I guess maybe in certain cases you might want to add a certain color cast to change that area. Now just to kind of show off, we can switch over to shadows, and we can push the shadows to red, or cyan, or any of the other colors as well. So of course you can waggle the sliders and see how all that works. And we can switch over to the highlights, and we can apply colors in those areas as well. So very, very straightforward way to adjust the colors of your image. It's one of those things where if you're totally new to color correction, you may have to learn to kind of train your eyes to see certain problems. Like you may want to actually have a piece of your canvas which is truly black, truly neutral gray, and truly white, so that you can kind of slide those around and see where problems might exist, where you might have some color offsets you might want to tweak. Finally, you have a checkbox here for Preserve Luminosity. If you don't have this on, you are basically making color changes to the entire pixel range. If you, if you switch that off, you're making changes to the entire pixel range, excuse me. And by switching it on, the luminosity of the pixels themselves is kept. You're not actually affecting that, which is generally a good thing. So that's a rundown of the color balance adjustment layer. Again, just a fast way to correct specific problems within a very specific tonal range of your image, but that will wrap things up for this video. Thanks a lot.